Okay, so you're here listening because you're ready to like really level up your English, right? To move past constantly translating in your head and just start thinking in English.
Yeah, like going straight to the source.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We found this awesome guide that's all about breaking free from that mental translation trap and getting your brain to think in English,
Hmm.
without that extra step.
It's a game changer.
Totally. So our mission today is to give you some really solid techniques that you can use to make that transition happen.
Right, because this isn't about cramming in more vocab or grammar. It's about changing how you interact with the language on a deeper level.
And we boil it down to 10 concrete techniques from this guide that you can start using like right now to rewire your brain for English first thinking.
Awesome. Let's jump in.
Because honestly, that constant translating in your head, it can feel like you're trying to run a marathon with weights on your ankles.
Ugh, I can imagine.
It just slows everything down, right? You're reading, you're listening, and especially speaking fluently. It's like you're always a step behind.
Always playing catch up.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's dive into the first technique, creating a personal narrative in English.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so let's unpack that. What does that even mean?
Well, think about it. We all have this constant stream of thoughts running through our heads all day long, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. Like a never-ending inner monologue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this guide suggests that we can actually use that to our advantage by consciously narrating our daily lives, but in English.
Oh, I see. So like instead of thinking, I'm so tired in my native language, I think I'm so tired in English.
Precisely. It's about taking all those little internal comments we make throughout the day. I need coffee. This traffic is killing me. What should I have for dinner? And switching them over to English.
So the guide gives examples like thinking, I need to buy groceries. What should I get? Maybe some apples, eggs, and milk. Or I feel a bit tired today. I should probably go to bed earlier.
Right. It might seem super simple, but the power is in the consistency.
Like just constantly surrounding yourself with these little English thought bubbles.
Yeah, exactly. And at this stage, it's not even about using fancy vocabulary or perfect grammar.
Just getting your brain used to using English as its go-to language for internal stuff.
Right. And over time, this can really help you rely less and less on your native language as that middleman.
Okay, cool. So technique number 2 is the keyword first technique.
Oh, this one's a brain hack for sure.
It sounds like a clever way to kind of like short circuit that translation process right from the start.
Exactly. So imagine you want to say something in English.
Okay.
Instead of thinking the entire phrase in your native language and then translating it word for word, this technique says you should grab onto the most important English word first.
Like the keyword.
Exactly, even before you've fully formed the sentence in your mind.
Oh, that's interesting. So for example, instead of thinking, I need to call my friend in my native language and then translating it, I would just immediately think, call.
Boom, right there.
And the guide also gave the example of seeing a chair. And instead of thinking of the word for chair in my native language, I just think chair in English.
Yes, because what this does is it forces your brain to start building the thought in English from the ground up.
Instead of just trying to swap English words into a sentence structure that's from my native language.
Right. You're basically giving your brain an English starting point and letting it build from there, which is so powerful for breaking away from those old native language habits.
That's a really cool way to look at it. It's like planting an English seed in your mind first and then letting the whole thought grow around it in English.
Love that analogy.
All right, so moving on to technique number 3, this one takes a more visual approach. Thinking in images, not words.
Ooh, I like this one. It reminds me of how little kids learn their first language.
Me too. They don't translate in their heads, right? They just see a dog and connect that image with the word dog.
It's so natural and direct.
And the guide says we can actually tap back into that as adult learners.
So instead of mentally saying the word for dog in our native language, we can go straight to visualizing a dog in our minds.
Yeah, maybe even picture its bark or how it moves.
And the guide also says if we're imagining something like a sunny beach, we should try to picture warm, sand, blue, ocean, bright sun directly in English.
Feel the warmth, see the colors, hear the waves crashing.
It's about skipping that whole translation step and going straight to the sensory experience.
So we're basically creating these direct links between English words and vivid images in our minds.
It's like building this whole other pathway for understanding and remembering things in English.
Without needing to rely on our native language as a bridge.
Right. It's like creating a separate network in your brain where English words and concepts are all wired together.
Awesome. Okay, technique number 4 is the question-answer loop.
Ooh, this one sounds fun.
It does, right? It's like a little game you can play in your head to keep your English brain active.
So tell me about it.
Well, it's all about having this internal dialogue with yourself, but entirely in English.
Okay, so like talking to myself, but in English.
Yeah. You ask yourself simple questions about your surroundings, your plans, or your feelings.
And then I answer them in English too.
Exactly. The guide gave examples like, what will I eat for breakfast? I think I'll have some toast and coffee. Or, what's my plan for today? I need to finish my work and go for a run.
It's like having a mini English conversation partner right inside your head.
Haha, exactly.
How?
And what I love about this technique is that it forces you to actively use English to both ask and answer questions.
It's like a mental workout for your English muscles.
Totally. Okay, let's move on to technique number 5, relearning concepts in English.
This one's all about building a strong foundation.
Yeah, it's like starting from scratch with new information.
Because the guide points out that if we learn about something new, let's say cooking or technology in our native language, we're always going to have that native language lens influencing how we think about it.
Right, like it's hard to separate the concept from the language we first learned it in.
Exactly. So the solution is to actively seek out English language resources when we're learning something new.
So like if I want to try a new recipe, I'd watch an English cooking show or read an English recipe online.
Yes. Or if you're interested in photography, you'd read English photography blogs and watch tutorials in English.
So the key is to encounter these new concepts and their vocabulary in English right from the start.
Right. You're building your understanding and vocabulary simultaneously in English,
It's like bypassing that translation step altogether.
which ultimately helps you think more directly and fluently in English about that specific topic.
I loved it. Okay, so technique number 6 is all about creating your own little English-speaking world.
Like surrounding yourself with the language.
Exactly. The guide calls it micro-immersion.
I love that.
Yeah,
Because it means you don't have to live abroad to experience the benefits of immersion.
right. You can create your own immersion experience right where you are. And the guide has a ton of practical tips for how to do this.
Hit me with them.
Okay, so think about changing the language settings on your phone and computer to English.
Easy enough.
Write your to-do lists and notes in English.
Good idea.
Switch your social media feeds and streaming services to English.
Oh yeah, great one.
And even just talk to yourself in English when you're alone.
Like narrate my life in English.
Haha, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about making English the default setting for as many parts of your life as possible.
And I bet the more you do that, the less effort it takes for your brain to switch into English mode.
Totally. It becomes less of a conscious choice and more of an automatic response.
Like you're creating this constant background hum of English in your life.
Exactly. All right, so technique number 7 is thought triggers.
Interesting. What's that about?
This one is all about connecting specific actions or objects with an English thought or phrase.
So like a mental cue.
Yeah, it's about creating these little automatic responses where a certain trigger makes you think something in English.
Oh, I see. So like every time I open a door, I could think to myself, I'm opening the door in English.
Exactly. Or when you wash your hands, you could think, I need to dry my hands.
These little mini reminders throughout the day.
Yeah. And while each one might seem small on its own,
Over time, they add up.
right, it's like they're constantly nudging your brain into English mode.
I like it.
Okay, on to technique number 8, practicing silent conversations.
Ooh, this sounds helpful for real-life situations.
It is. It's all about mentally rehearsing conversations you might have in the future.
Oh, like preparing for different scenarios.
Exactly. So let's say you know you're going to the store later. You can practice in your head how you'd ask for help or ask about a product in English.
So I'm like running a simulation in my mind.
Yeah, and the guide also said you can do this while watching a movie.
Oh, how's that?
Like you could pause it and try to predict what the characters will say next, but in English.
That's a cool idea.
It's all about getting comfortable with using the language in different situations, even if it's just in your head.
And I bet that helps you feel more confident and ready when those situations come up in real life.
Totally. All right, technique number 9 is all about speeding up your reaction time.
Ooh, getting quicker on the draw with English.
Exactly. This one targets that lag we often feel when we have to translate from our native language to English.
Yeah, like when you hear something and you have to mentally go through the translation process before you can understand or respond in English.
Right, so this technique is all about practicing instant recall of English words and phrases.
Like being able to pull them up without even thinking about it.
Yeah, and the guide recommends using things like flashcards.
Where you see a word in your native language and immediately try to think of the English equivalent.
Exactly. Or you can even do mental word association games.
Like those quick thinking exercises where you have to come up with as many English words as possible related to a certain topic.
Yeah. And the ultimate goal here is to make English your default language for processing information and responding.
So it's like English becomes your brain's automatic first choice.
Exactly. And finally, technique number 10 is probably the most important one of all.
Okay, drumroll, please.
This one is about making peace with mistakes and keeping going.
The classic advice that we all need to hear.
Because let's face it, the fear of making mistakes can really hold us back from thinking directly in English.
Oh, for sure. We get so caught up in trying to be perfect that we're afraid to even try.
And the guide reminds us that even native English speakers make mistakes all the time.
It's true. Nobody's perfect.
So it's more important to focus on practicing consistently and engaging with the language, even if we mess up sometimes.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Right. We have to be willing to learn from our mistakes and just keep moving forward.
Love it. So to wrap it all up, the journey to thinking in English is definitely achievable. It's not some magical skill that some people have and others don't.
It's about putting in the work and using the right techniques.
And this guide lays out 10 amazing techniques that you can start using today.
And what's really cool is that you can tailor it to your own learning style.
Right. You don't have to use all 10 at once. Just pick one or two that resonate with you and start experimenting with them this week.
And just imagine how much easier and more natural your English will feel when you can bypass that translation step and just think directly in the language.
It's like unlocking a whole new level of fluency.
And the best part is that it's a skill you can build with practice.
The more you do it, the easier it gets.
So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Embrace the process and have fun with it.
Yes. Enjoy the journey.
Awesome. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today. We'll see you next time.
See ya.